Once I enter a public place, I become incredibly rude.
How do you see yourself for the Oscars
You can't live your
night?
whole life behind your phone, bro.
Huh?
You're just not gonna, you can't do that. You gotta live in the now.
Oh, sorry.
You know?
Sacred rocks, and they were, I don't know, they were ancestors, who knows. Oh my God, they were so good for butt itches. One rock ended up coming loose. It was a giant boulder, and it rolled down this mountain, and almost killed our sound guy. And all the Hawaiians were like, oh my God, it's the curse.
I'm a big time puker, like Lindsay Lohan, but without any drugs or alcohol.
Jennifer Lawrence is thriving in Hollywood's toxicity. For years, she's been problematic, whether it's her offensive comments or her bully rants. Jennifer has feuded with so many different celebrities and even made up lies about them. This is a deep dive into Jennifer Lawrence's controversial past and her creepy husband. So let's get into it. I've always been a big fan of Jennifer Lawrence and her work, but today I want to go through some of her worst moments because after doing a deep dive, I found a lot. But I want to start off with what inspired me to do this video, and it's actually her husband, Cook Maroney. Every time I hear Cook's name, I think of like Cook macaroni and then I'm hungry. But Cook is very different from Jennifer Lawrence's exes. She was once with Chris Martin, Nicholas Hoult, and other famous people. You may not know who Cook Maroney is because he's not famous. The only reason we really know who he is because he's married to Jennifer Lawrence. And even though Jennifer Lawrence is worth about $160 million, Cook comes from money himself. And he's worth about like $25 million, which is still so much money. And he's gotten his money from his family business, which is actually art dealing. So I guess he's kind of like an art nepo baby. Is that a thing? Comment below. But I know a lot of art dealers in LA make so much money. And it turns out that some of the art that he's purchased in the past has been problematic. This kind of reminds me of the video we did on Selma Hayek and her husband and the creepy art that he has of those statues that have like wieners for mouths. Well, this isn't as bad as that, but Emily Ratajkowski, a popular model, was not too happy that Cook Maroney actually had a picture of her displayed in his home. Now, this piece we're describing is by an artist named Richard Prince, who had taken this photo of Emily, printed it on a huge canvas, and cashed out for a hefty sum without her consent. So sold a piece of art of her image, her likeness, and didn't even tell her. And it was a risque photo, so she probably didn't want it out there. I'm sure her stomach was sinking, so she rushed to go and try to buy this print because she wanted to have it for herself. I mean, it makes sense. She does not want it out there, but she was informed that the print had actually sold already. This is back in 2014, and the dealer said it actually sold to a collector for a lot of money, so they're not giving it to her. What's even crazier about that is that Cook Maroney was that dealer, and he did not have a buyer. He kept it for himself. So whatever crooked story he had told her to convince her that she can't have it was all fake. Emily said in her own words, "I knew of the gallerist through a bunch of different people and I met him once or twice, so it didn't take me long to figure out what actually happened to the piece. It was hanging in his West Village apartment right above the couch. One person saw it and said that it's like he sits under a naked you." A source confirmed to Des Moines that Emily Ratajkowski and Jennifer Lawrence are in a feud. They write, "I know people in their immediate social circle and under no circumstances are they to be invited to the same event. Jennifer is super annoyed and embarrassed that Emily indirectly named her husband, Cook Maroney, as the guy who has her nude. Everyone in the art world read it and knew it was him too." Of course, Cook Maroney hasn't spoken on this. He's not famous and he probably doesn't want to comment on it because it would only make it worse. He already looks so bad. I feel like the only thing he could do is maybe issue a public apology, but I don't even know if he would want to do that. Or really if Jennifer Lawrence would let him do that. There was a recent blind item. We actually spoke about this in our series Blinded and Breakdown. Definitely go and check that out. But it reads, "Speaking of A-list, this married A-list actress finally got her husband to take down the nude photo of the hard to spell model from the wall in their home." So it looks like, maybe this chapter is over. He should honestly go and return the image to Emily because is he going to go and try to sell this off? Like, is this going to be traveling pans of the traveling nude of Emily Ratajkowski? I don't know, but I'm sure Jennifer Lawrence was probably done seeing this picture of another woman right next to her man every day. Like I said at the top of this video, this is going to be Jennifer Lawrence's worst moment. So now that we've talked about the husband, let's move on. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I love the islands of Hawaii. And one thing you don't do when you go there is disrespect the land. And that's exactly what Jennifer Lawrence did. She described grabbed it on national television and then laughed about it. And it's not even like she threw like some trash out of a car or something, which that is also horrible. If you do that, shame on you. But she went to a sacred site and destroyed it. Jennifer talks about filming the Hunger Games movie in Hawaii, and she said that there were these sacred rocks and you're not supposed to sit on them because you're not supposed to expose your genitalia to them. I've never heard that before. She said the rocks, though, were so good for butt itches, and that one of the rocks that she was, I guess, twerking up on came loose, and the boulder rolled down the mountain and almost killed the sound guy. She also joked, saying all the Hawaiians were like, oh my god, it's a curse. And I'm like, I'm your curse. I wedged it loose with my butt. Which, I don't know, I have a feeling that maybe there's some bad like energy and vibes with like some of these celebrities that the land would have a reaction to them.
Where were these rocks? Were they kind of on the coast? Were they in the mountains?
We were filming in Hawaii, and there were sacred rocks, and they were, I don't know, their ancestors, who knows. They were sacred, and you're not supposed to sit
Already kind of like laughing off the culture, and I don't love that.
on them because you're not supposed to expose your genitalia to them.
Bless.
I, however, was in a wetsuit for this whole shoot,
So it doesn't count, right?
Oh my god, they were so good for butt itching. Like, oh! And you know, one rock that I was butt scratching on ended up coming loose. It was a giant boulder, and it rolled down this mountain and almost killed our sound guy. And like this whole station like got destroyed. It was like it was a huge dramatic deal, and all the Hawaiians were like, "Oh my God, it's the curse."
This blind item reads, there's been a nasty accident in Hollywood and someone will have to pay up. The issue is nobody wants to take responsibility per usual. But that's not the case anymore because with Morgan & Morgan, regular people are finally winning too. They are the largest injury law firm in America with over 1,000 attorneys and offices across the country ready to fight for you if you end up working with them. In the entertainment industry, these stars have a full team to manage them. Why shouldn't you? Plus, they've been doing this for over 35 years and recovered $25 billion for people just like you. One of their clients was offered a measly $350,000 from an insurance company. Morgan & Morgan got them $12 million. And these aren't rare stories. This is what they do. What makes it even better is how easy it is. For in 2025, people, Morgan & Morgan doesn't make you deal with the paperwork or pay anything up front. You can scan my QR code and fill out your case within minutes. And remember, the fee is free unless they win. So you don't have to pay anything out of pocket and you're not hiring a lawyer. You are hiring a full team who knows how to get it done. That is why Morgan & Morgan is who I would trust if anything happened to me. If you need them, you could start your claim now by clicking the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen using your phone's camera. It's fast, it's simple, and it could change everything. A Hawaiian cultural expert said it's an ancient Hawaiian living site and there are hundreds of burial caves right in that area. These caves contain the bones of our ancestors, but not just any bones. They call them kahuna. These were the astronomers, navigators, and the doctors of the time. So it's like some of their best people were over here buried under these rocks that you're rubbing your butt on. That's probably why you shouldn't do that. Probably why that rock tried to get loose and push you over the edge. Because it saw what you were doing, Jennifer Lawrence. I would not want to piss off the ancestors if I were you. She did issue an apology on Facebook saying that she did not mean any offense to the Hawaiian people. But I feel like this story was just so unnecessary and some PR filler that she and her publicist probably made up for this bit, which is lame. Jennifer Lawrence will go for the low blows. I don't know if it's her publicist telling her to do this. I don't know if it's just her taking the wheel. She tried to come after Lindsay Lohan for no reason. And, you know, I'm glad Lindsay's back. She's doing great. She's got the Freakier Friday. But she's been such a punching bag for the media for so many years that I think even like the outlets are tired of it. So Jennifer Lawrence like bringing this up and trying to shame her is so old and dated.
Yeah, I got a stomach virus.
Yeah.
And I was puking, and the poor guy, I had to make out with somebody. And we were like spinning, and I'd start puking, and then I would like do mouthwash and be like, "Are you ready?" Like
That
licking my chops. Like,
Wait, getting sick on set and having like a co-star, shouldn't there be like protections that that person doesn't have to make out with someone who's clearly throwing up with a virus?
That's how you win a Golden Globe, my friend.
Let's do it.
Best
I puked
puke.
yesterday. I'm a puker.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm a big time puker. I think I have like nerve. I think that I don't stop working. I'm just like, because I'm a show pony. I don't have a choice. And so I just keep going, I think, until eventually my body's just like, if we don't make her barf or pass out, she won't stop. I get like Lindsay Lohan, like grade exhaustion.
Yeah.
But without any drugs or alcohol. I'm always in bed early.
Is there anything
but I'm
we can
still
look,
tired.
Anything we can look forward to in the next few minutes?
Lindsay's sister Allie tweeted after the episode aired saying, "I never breathe life into negativity, but I stand by my family. Disappointed in Jennifer Lawrence, you lost a fan." Lindsay replied with a quote which reads, "You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but I still rise." And it seems like Jennifer's kind of a mean girl when it comes to other celebrities. She does view them in certain ways, and I know this because she went on to Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and she was with her best friend, and they were talking about how they gossip about celebrities, and they have nicknames for a bunch of them. There's one named Lady, there's one named Pickle. They have different variations, like Raging Lady, the Lady in Red, Lady in Waiting. Basically, they gossip about a bunch of celebrities and they have nicknames about them, so I guess the world doesn't know. I found another interesting moment. This article reports when trying to be relatable, Jennifer Lawrence sometimes has a hard time telling the truth. For example, she told a story on The Late Night with Seth Meyers about getting drunk and vomiting. Why is she vomiting so much? At Madonna's 2014 Oscars after party. She said Miley Cyrus told her to get it together. It would be somewhat amusing, but Miley Cyrus later tweeted that the incident never happened. I would be so freaked out if I was like a celebrity and other celebrities were lying about stories involving me and doing press using this. It would make me never want to be around them in any interaction again, because who knows what they're going to go and say on Seth Meyers.
I've never gone out after Golden Globes or Oscars or anything.
Really?
I'm just so sick of people by that point.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I get
oh,
it.
God. But this time I was like, I'm going out. And I puked all over.
Weird. No, weird.
There's this big fancy party, this
Okay,
Guy
gotcha.
Osiris Madonna party. If you get invited, you're like, super important. and I puked on his porch. So, and like, I was in such bad condition. And I look behind me while I'm puking and Miley Cyrus is there, like, get it together.
Now, this isn't the only time that Jennifer Lawrence has lied about a story involving another celebrity. It's so embarrassing because one time she told Conan O'Brien that she followed John Stamos around at a party. She said, "I started freaking out and he asked me if I was on mushrooms and I said, no, I'm dead sober. That is just me." I just kept smiling and being like, "Dude, Uncle Jesse." When John Stamos was asked about this incident, he was diplomatic, tweeting that he was totally oblivious. I guess he didn't remember this at all, which who knows, maybe he was on the mushrooms. Clearly, Jennifer Lawrence is calculated because she's coming out with these stories that conveniently no other celebrities remember. Now, at these award shows, these celebrities arrive and they typically want to accept an award where they have to go up these stairs to the stage. And when Jennifer Lawrence did that in 2013 at the Oscars, she tripped. And it was adorable, but then it kept happening. At the 2014 Oscars, she fell on the red carpet, and it led to Jared Leto, of all people, asking if it's all an act. Like maybe this is, again, her publicist or her idea to go and continue falling because people like it and it gets attention. It makes it seem like she's just like us. She's just like, stumbling around, like doesn't know what she's doing. When in all actuality, she's 100% calculated. Now, she tried to defend herself. She told Mary Claire magazine, "If I were Jared Leto, I would completely agree." Not great at defending herself, but trust me, if I was going to plan it, I would have done it at the Golden Globes or the SAGs. I would have never done it at 2 Oscars in a row. Interesting that she does admit that if she was going to plan it, she would have done it at the Golden Globes or the SAGs. Why even think about planning something like this, like a fall?
Nominated in this category for Winter's Bone.
Oh, there she goes. And the dress does look heavy here. Oh, she's down. Okay. At least she's got a lot of help there. There you go. Jennifer definitely gives me that vibe that she would describe herself as like a quirky person. She's just so quirky. Until she's not. There was a moment where she came off kind of rude at this press event. It was at the Golden Globes, but I do want to kind of like defend her here too. This reporter doesn't seem like they knew what they were doing or what they were even asking her, but this clip does not make her look nice or friendly. And I feel like sometimes when you're a celebrity, you just gotta turn it on all the time.
How do you see yourself for the Oscars
You can't live your
night?
whole life behind your phone, bro.
Huh?
You're just not gonna, we can't do that. You gotta live in the now.
Sorry.
You know?
Well, a lot of times these reporters are there because they have to get the content for their job. I don't know if this is not I don't know what type of press this would be if you don't have your phone trying to film for whatever publisher that they may be from.
How do you see yourself for the Oscar night? And how was
We're at the Golden
working-
Globes. If you put your phone down, you'd know that.
It's a little bit awkward, you must admit, and I'd feel so bad if I was that reporter, but also, you need to at least know where you are. A couple years ago, Jennifer Lawrence sparked backlash by falsely claiming to be the first woman in the lead of an action movie, which I know all the movie buffs were probably so mad when they heard that. She said, "I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work, because we were told that girls and boys can identify with the male lead, but boys cannot identify with a female lead." She said, "I see the movie come out and it just blows through everyone's beliefs and proves that it is just a lie to keep certain people out of movies."
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work. We were told girls and boys can both identify with a male lead, but boys cannot identify with a female lead.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just makes me so happy every single time I see a movie come out that just blows through every single one of those beliefs and proves that it is just a lie to keep certain people out of the movies, to keep certain people in the same positions that they've always been in. And it's just amazing.
Now, there have been several films that have had leading ladies like Angelina Jolie, Uma Thurman in Kill Bill, Michelle Yeoh in several films like Super Cop, Magnificent Warriors, and Yes, Madam. Jennifer acknowledged that there had been many, many, many female leads in action movies before her. She said that she did not mean to say that at all. "I know I'm not the only woman that has ever led an action film." She said, "It came out wrong. I had nerves talking to a living legend." Viola Davis, which, as you should. If you guys have ever met Jennifer Lawrence, comment below and let me know what your experience was like. Was she friendly? Was she not? In an interview, she did admit that she is rude to her fans.
But you're famously light and approachable.
Oh, thank you.
That-
I just generally, once I enter a public place, I become incredibly rude. I turn into a huge asshole.
You get icy?
And that's, that's kind of like my only way of defending myself, is just being...
Put the blockade
Yeah,
and
just
stare
be an
straight
asshole.
ahead.
Like, see somebody walking towards my table, just go... Or like, "Can I have a selfie?" And I'm like, "No." That's like my only defense. So I don't really have it that bad.
I can't imagine a publicist trying to tell her that this would be a good story to go and lead with, that she's just incredibly rude to everyone who tries to come up to her. Now, recently we spoke about David O. Russell. I can't remember what video that was right now. Comment below if you guys remember. Now, he is a problematic director. He has been accused, I believe, of touching his transgender niece. There were also incidents where he would berate actresses back in the day. Like, he went off on Lily Tomlin, and it was really terrifying to see how he speaks to these employees of his.
Here, I'm just trying to help you. Do you understand me? I'm being a collaborator. I'm just trying to help you figure out. Hey, I'm not here to be yelled at. I worked on this thing for 3 years. Not to have some yell at me.
Oh. So there's a reason why George Clooney punched him in the face. This guy is not cool. Also so creepy that he allegedly groped his transgender niece in 2012. Like, what is up with you, man? But it looks like Jennifer Lawrence has a deep affection for him. She also likes Woody Allen. She says that she worships Woody Allen, the same man who was accused of harming his stepdaughter and then married his ex-girlfriend's adopted daughter, his stepdaughter, essentially. And one thing I noticed about Jennifer Lawrence is that she seems really insensitive. I found a report that it looks like back in 2014 at the Cannes Film Festival, she saw director Alfonso Cuarón and told him that she broke out her R-word scream for him. Now, this comment wasn't intended to go public, but it was so offensive to the people who were around them that they took note and it later became news. Speaking of, I don't know how to do this little switch up, but I guess speaking of the trans community, since we were just talking about David Russell's trans niece, which shout out to her for surviving that. Anyways, in November 2012, Jennifer Lawrence appeared on The Ellen Show, and she was talking about her female cat and going back and forth with how she thought it was a boy, but it's actually a girl, and she couldn't figure it out. And she ended up just calling the cat Chaz Bono, who is Cher and Sonny Bono's trans son. So a little bit awkward that she would just make this joke again and at another celebrity's expense, and it Seems like Ellen was clearly uncomfortable by this and actually tried to take a moment to educate her.
I've never met a cat that like you assume first she's a boy because normally dogs are boys and cats are girls.
Right.
But she has such a masculine energy that
Right.
everybody always says he. For the first week I thought it was a boy. I named her Oliver. Like she had a collar and Oliver and like boy, boy, boy. And everybody's like, what's his name? That's just weird for a cat. So we call her Chasbono.
Yeah.
That's her driving.
Because those tortie cats, that's a tortoise cat. All 3 color cats are girls. Just so you know that for the future. Any cat with 3 colors is a female.
Whoa.
Ellen tried to divert the conversation there. I mean, keep in mind that this episode was filmed on like Trans Remembrance Day, so not great timing. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know what you guys think and what was the worst moment that you heard in this video. I want to hear it in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.